everyone, welcome back. And we're going to talk Pepe Coin. And I know those of you that do own Pepe, you trade Pepe, it's going to be something where it's not always sunshine and roses. And what I mean by that is if you want to watch videos, people talking about Pepe, I talk Pepe, it's something where unless Pepe's up or down 20%, I feel like nobody really cares and it's very hard to talk about. Okay. And that's kind of way crypto media goes. Okay. So in this video, I want to kind of dive in between the lines a little bit. And we're going to talk about a bigger conversation and why Pepe's price could enter beast mode as we're going to kind of take this article and run with it, talking about some of the exchange volume and kind of the balances that lie on exchanges and kind of read between the lines a little bit. Okay. So this is not going to be Pepe to the moon, Pepe up 20%, Pepe down 20%. You kind of have to go a little bit different sometimes. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So let's get down into it. If you're going to watch this video, though, please make sure you join the channel. Completely free to do so. Hit that subscribe. Also, if you can, give me a like, put that thumbs up. Appreciate you all tuning in, and let's get right down into it. All right, we are going to kind of dive into what we're seeing on CoinMarketCap. And that's where we stand today. As we look at Pepe on the chart, you can see kind of overall down a little over 2% across the board as we talk the overall market. And for Pepe, 32nd in total market cap, down 5.16%. It's been an ugly chart, okay? There's no real way to kind of sugarcoat this one, guys. We are back at the levels that we were at pretty much since we bounced up. And this is from the March 5th time cycle when we started this kind of upswing here, and we're back at those levels, a little bit actually above that, but it's still something where, guys, we have given back all of these gains, and that's why it's very important to use kind of some sort of help, right? I use my trading indicator. Never tell you guys to buy or sell a crypto, but it's something where I was able to at least stable out of Pepe a little bit, and that's kind of what's left me in a position where now we can make a decision as these prices have retreated. And you could have seen this one coming from a mile away, as my trading indicator alluded to the fact that back on December 8th, 9th, or 10th, it was right around there, right before Christmas. We did start to see a downward push coming. Okay, but this is something where you look into kind of what's going to happen, what's next, how you feel about Pepe. It comes down to a couple things for me, guys. The markets right now suck. We have extremely bullish news, catalysts, the best crypto trading environment, and meme coins are getting absolutely bludgeoned across the board. Unless they're just freshly minted, created, whatever, you're not going to get a meme coin that's going to have success over the long haul. Okay. But that doesn't mean you can't still turn it into profit. There's different ways to go about that. But in kind of the hold game, it's been a little bit rough. Okay. Full disclosure. And that's kind of why I want to talk about this, because we are going to get into kind of the overall narrative of, you look at kind of the crypto bubbles on the day, it's a red day. We're not going to sugarcoat the weekend. It's not a good day. And it's something where, as we look into this last week, it's not been a good week. And I don't know if it's the tariffs, the conflicts, or just kind of the overall steam in the market. I personally think a lot of people got wrecked, but the moves that are happening, I will tell you, though, this is something that does give way to the narrative. The rich are going to get richer in this scenario because a lot of the liquidity, a lot of the capital that was in crypto just got absolutely flushed out of the market. A lot of that had to do with the Trump token, in my personal opinion. And then from there, guys, we took a very hot market that was running really hot. We kind of opened the door for a lot of things to happen in terms of manipulation that really did shake out a lot of traders. Okay. So we're going to talk about this, but the Pepe kind of beast mode, as they dub it in this article, I want to kind of talk about what that means and get into some of the details. Okay. First, if you do want to start trading on a new exchange, I am partnered with BTCC. Check them out. Links down below. This is where right now they're having a volume competition. And if you are a new user, deposit, sign up. You can unlock over 10,000 USDT just by signing up using my link. One of the more trusted exchanges, been around over 14 years. Spot, leverage, and futures trading you can do within BTCC. And it really doesn't, I think it's one of the exchanges that is able to be traded in the United States. So that's something that is a big push for them and for a lot of users that are having success trading on this platform. So if you want to get signed up, start trading today. Links are down below for BTCC. Okay. But let's get into this narrative. All right. And that's where we're going to zoom in on this, talk about a little bit. All right. We are looking at Pepe and why they say it could enter beast mode. Okay, we're gonna get into this article, talk about some of the TA. I know beast mode's kind of crazy to just kind of use that analogy because I mean, guys, look at the chart. There's nothing beastly about this chart. All right, so just call it call it what it is. And if we did get back, say, taking back that zero, get above the 2-0 mark, the 4020 line, that would be something we could celebrate as we look for, reclaiming all-time highs. Where a lot of you guys out there that do have Pepe, you're probably thinking to yourselves that we will never see all-time highs again. Personally, though, I think that that's something that could very much happen in just a very short time window. Crypto is very volatile, and right now the volatility is going towards the red, but nobody really wants to balk at it or kind of talk negatively about the volatility when we're having the green days and we're having those buy walls. Okay. But back into the discussion, let's get into this. Okay. We saw Pepe wiped out over almost $7 billion in the last few months. This is something where we've, essentially settled a little bit under $4 billion. But still a combination of strong technicals in the falling exchange balances. That's what we came here to talk about. That's what's going to be attributed to this potential beast mode. Okay. Because there are signs that investors are still accumulating Pepe at these low prices. Data by CoinCarp showing that despite its recent crash, the number of Pepe holders has jumped to 417,000, up from 406,000 on the same day a month earlier. And in most cases, holders drop as a coin's price retreats. So that's something that we need to talk about. But then the other data that's showing Pepe balances on exchanges has dropped in the last few weeks. Now there's over 240.22 trillion tokens on exchanges. That is down from 241.86. So that's something where you look into it, guys. It's a little bit more than $1.5 trillion tokens down in that regard. Okay, so when we do have falling exchange reserves, that is a sign that crypto investors are holding in more of a less exchange fashion. So they're going to use their cold storage wallets. They're going to use things like that. And that's kind of where these numbers with exchanges do make sense. Okay. So that's something that you have to keep in mind. So if you do look into kind of how we're seeing this drop, it seems like it's just a very small margin, but in the grand scheme of things, it can surmount to kind of need to read between the lines. Okay, this could give way to the narrative that, okay, Pepe's getting ready for a move. But outside of that, guys, it's something that you have to kind of couple that with some of the technicals. And I don't devote any of my kind of what I'm trying to do within anything from a TA perspective more times than not, because the reason why, you could have the best fundamentals technicals in the game, and then you could have a more bearish kind of macro thing going on, and it's going to affect all crypto despite how good something's doing individually. And that's kind of where you look into some of these catalysts that we've seen. Obviously, the giant double bottom that we're talking about at the 505895. And that's something that's easily recognizable. Also, couple that with the falling wedge chart pattern. That's kind of where you look into a bullish breakout typically happening. Now, that's something where we talk about it. And I want to tell you guys, as we look at the chart, you can see kind of the formations that are there in front of us. But I want to kind of tell you guys how I feel about them. This is why I don't like TA. Okay, those two things that we talked about, right? The double bottom pattern and the falling wedge pattern. Yeah, that means that we're going to have breakout. That means that there's usually breakout that shortly ensues afterwards. Okay, but you still need to have people buying. Okay, and I think right now we're facing a liquidity kind of issue, or I'm sorry, where people are just basically shocked with losses right now. It's just it's shock effect on the market kind of. But when we talk about those fundamentals, the falling wedge and the double bottom, yeah, it's kind of just common sense. What goes down a whole hell of a lot has to go up. Okay. I mean, you can call it what you want, double bottom, falling wedge. I just call it's been really, really freaking bad. And now it's set to do some good because we're at the bottom, we're at the floor. And to go beneath these levels, that would just basically be almost, a giant, like a catastrophic event, okay, to even drop from where we are right now. Okay, so that's kind of how I look at it. I don't want to talk about it more so than that, because if we look at the chart and we look at kind of the last year, you can see kind of where we're at. This is the bottom. We've hit it twice. We bounced up nicely. We had a little bit of a lesser of a pump the first go round, but this is the third time that we've kind of flirted with these levels. And we have responded very nicely historically. Okay, so what I look for is, yeah, we've been down, we've been here. It's a familiar kind of pattern that we've been seeing. And Pepe, if you are playing it for the short to intermediate term, as long as we don't break down from the level that we're at right now, and when I talk about that, that's roughly where we're at on the charts. We're talking about like this is the 5065, 5062. If we break down below that, that's when you could think about something more heavy within the overall markets kind of crashing that would be influencing the Pepe price, and Pepe's getting hit even harder. But more so, this could be just strictly just reshuffling of the deck and buying at the floor. Okay, that's kind of how I view it. So if you're bullish on Pepe, this is a very good floor. I'll never tell you to buy or sell a crypto. Like I said, I've stabled up in a lot of mine as we're just waiting on the sidelines for that indication to get back in. But I do believe in Pepe. It's a third-ranked meme coin for a reason. Don't ignore it. Don't sleep on it. We just got to keep monitoring the situation, and then hopefully the tides will turn. And if you are holding, that's where we got to sweat it out. And if if you're waiting for an entry or you're just kind of swing trading Pepe, that's why you got to stay up to date with what's going on every single day within crypto. That's why we talk about it, because I'm doing the research anyways, putting it all together. So I'm just sharing with you guys my thoughts and viewpoints on this matter. And that's how I feel about it. So not giving up, just not kind of diving head first. We're waiting for our time to strike. But if history does repeat, we are in a position where Pepe should rebound like we've done twice back in September and in May of 2024. So with that, I'll leave you guys. Enjoy it. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you all in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, check out BTCC. Links are down below. Cheers.